Do your rider pass this way in a hurry, Sonny?
Sure. Some hombre just passed here, riding like a dickens.
Which way was you headed?
For that pass yonder.
Thank you, my boy.
You're welcome. Well, I sure ran that stuff heck a while that time. Lucky for you, Blackie, that you've got me.
Yeah, stop your bragging, you young suckling. Get on that horse.
Where are we going, Romeo?
Too hot in this territory. We're drifting to Indian Springs. Come on, knock on that coyote. Come on.
Come on, Pete. Next time that old buddy tells that story, I'll leave him down. And me too.
After that story, get you some and keep that gaddy mouth of yours shut.
Hey, what about you and me having a drink together, Blackie?
You do with that headed now, or I'll smack you.
All right. Don't have to get tough about it.
I don't like this material. It's too flimsy.
Well, we have a new shipment coming in Saturday. Perhaps you'll like those.
All right. I'll be in to see them.
I believe in giving every man a fair chance to mend his ways.
Well, I ain't denying you done this town a lot of good, Parson. But still there's a heap of gospel in a 6-gun. Ain't that right, Evans?
What's that, Gaines?
I said there's a heap of gospel in a 6-gun.
The gospel this town needs is the parson's kind.
Thanks, Evans. And with the Lord's help, I'll keep trying.
The Lord must be on your side, Parson. For since you've been here, the birth rate's higher than the death rate. So I guess we gotta thank you for that.
I wish I could persuade your deputy to follow in your footsteps, John, and join the church. But he'll see the light one of these days.
Sure he will, Parson.
Good night, gentlemen.
Now, that's what I call a man. I reckon we'd better be going, Martha.
Good night, Miss Betty.
Good night, Mrs. Harper.
Now, as I was saying before they came in, that Jameson baby don't look no more like its papa than I do. They do say when Mr. Jameson came home and found he was a father, he said to his wife, "Howdy, ma'am. Got a plug of tobacco?"
Why, I can't sell chewing tobacco to a little boy like you.
certainly not.
I ain't so little. I just stopped going, that's all. Now, ma'am, I don't want to particularize. But my partner said, don't argue with no female. So hand over that tobacco.
Merciful heavens, such talk. What is this world a-coming to?
Say, lady, you better let your husband do your talking.
I have no husband, you young scamp.
Mighty lucky you haven't. Why, you'd be a widow if you was doing the talking for you.
Only naughty little boys talk like that.
Of course. And the sheriff should be told about a scallywag like you.
The sheriff better tend to his own knitting. 'Cause my partner, Blackie, don't think no more of killing the sheriff than he thinks of killing the chicken for dinner. Why, he uses sheriffs just for target practice.
Did you ever hear such wickedness?
Why, you ain't heard nothing yet. If he makes up his mind he don't like you, you might as well save time and lay down and die right then.
I'll see that you get your just desserts, young man.
Wait a minute, lady, I ain't done talking yet. Can you imagine that? She walked out on me.
What's your name?
My partner calls me Silent Sandy.
Who is your partner?
Who is he? I'm just warning you, lady. He hates women like poison.
Yeah?
Oh, hello, Blackie.
Shooting you off your face again, huh? Do you want me to give you a smack? Did you get what I told you to?
Oh, don't blame him. I wouldn't sell him any chewing tobacco.
What? Chewing tobacco?
See you later, Blackie.
Come back here. Didn't I tell you not to chew tobacco? If you've got to use it, do like I told you. Smoke a pipe. May I see some of your socks, miss?
I think these will fit you.
You sure have your hands full bringing kids up right these days, don't you, ma'am?
Do you?
Them'll fit you all right. Let's get going.
Really, you don't look half as dangerous as I thought you would, from what your partner told me.
Oh, he's quite a kidder, my partner. Honest, ma'am. I'm the most harmless fellow in the world.
Especially to, women?
I'll take a couple of these socks.
Fellow Johnson, and tell him to come on in here like I told him to.
Mr. Evans, I've been grossly insulted by a tobacco-chewing little scallywag over in the hotel. You've got to do something about it. You never in your life heard such an unmannered little scamp.
Well, I'll give him a talking to, Miss Whipple.
Yes, you bet you'll give him a talking to. He must be under the influence of some dreadful person. And I'm sure it's that man he calls Blackie.
Blackie? Blackie who?
I don't know, but it's your business to find out. He ought to be told to get out of town and take his brat with him.
Water over there, Bill, and I'll follow.
Sure. Come on, Miss Whipple.
Blackie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Will you come in again?
Oh, what for? Them socks will last him a long time.
Good night, miss.
Good night.
Well. Oh, boy.
Maybe he's
Well.
lost.
No.
Oh, maybe he'll get lost, and I'll be lucky and find him. What do you think of that?
What do you want a mangy pup for anyway?
I just said maybe.
That mangy pup belongs to me.
Yeah, come to look closer at him, you can see he's a thoroughbred. Now, for instance, take his tail, Sandy.
Oh, what'll I do with it?
Leave it alone.
You a friend of this kid, stranger? I am asking you a question.
People who know me better usually don't.
What's your business?
Minding it. As I was saying, Sandy, you can always tell a thoroughbred from a mongrel
By his tail?
by his manners.
Get on your feet if you're talking to me.
Was I talking to you?
Well, I'm talking to you, and I'm telling you something, mister. You teach that brat of yours to keep a civil tongue in his head when he's talking to women folks.
What did you say to that lady?
I guess she thought I meant it, what I said.
Shooting off your mouth again, huh?
I was only fooling. I'm sorry, lady, if you was insulting.
You better be.
Well, you keep your mouth shut after this, or I'll give you what a kid like you deserves.
If you got any more talking to do, say it to me, and say it quick.
Hold on there. What's going on here, Gaines?
Ah, this hombre's looking for trouble.
He wasn't until you came in.
What about this boy?
He apologized to the lady. I guess that takes care of it.
Intend staying in this territory long, stranger?
Any objection?
Well, what makes you think I would have any objections to peaceful citizens?
Well, in that case, you better start educating your deputy. Fifth.
That insulting little scoundrel upset me so I forgot to ask for my mail. If you don't mind, Miss Betty.
I guess your health must be pretty good or you wouldn't be so careless of it. Unnecessarily aggravating a killer like Blackie Saunders. He's the fellow the sheriff of Calaveras wrote to me to watch out for. Got his name on half a dozen tombstones.
Yeah? Well, he won't make any record on any tombstones in this county.
There you go again. Now, you'd have suited my plans better if you hadn't started something to put him on his guard.
Always getting me into some kind of a scrape, ain't you? Yeah, you're more bother than you're worth.
Gee, I'm sorry, Blackie.
Well, do you think you can stay here alone a couple of minutes without getting into more trouble? The next time you start something, I'm through with you for good. You. And keep that mouth of yours shut.
Where you from, kid? What's the matter? Can't you talk?
My partner told me not to do any talking.
Looks like you come a long way.
Yeah, we came all the way from... Say, that's none of your business.
Oh, there you are. Pretty good-looking horse you got there. Whose is he?
My partner's.
Your partner's, huh? Where'd he get him?
You bought him?
Bought him. That's what you think.
What are you doing, calling my partner a horse thief?
Well, he sure looks like one.
Why, you big, dirty sheep herder! You're a liar!
Well, you little brat.
You big coward! Blackie!
You keep your mouth shut or I'll give you...
Blackie! Blackie!
Get away from that kid. If you want to hit somebody, I'll give you a chance.
I told you he's looking for trouble.
I'll take care of this, Gaines.
Then keep your hands easy like, Sheriff, while you're doing your talking.
Wait a minute, Evans. I saw what happened. Castro knocked this boy down, then pulled his gun on this man, who shot in self-defense.
Well, that kid...
Keep quiet. Self-defense has saved your neck before, hasn't it? Saunders, stay where you are. Well, it ain't going to be so healthy in this town after tonight for a killer with your reputation.
I'll be the best judge of my health, Sheriff.
The Lord said, "Be not overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good."
You're wasting your time trying to convert him, Parson.
Just what I think, Mr. Wallace.
Drift. Get that arm doctored, Castro. Get out of here.
If we're going my way, Parson, I'd feel much safer if I walked along with you.
I'm sure you're in very little danger.
Oh,
Very little danger. Oh, miss.
Please, I don't care to hear about it, nor you. And I don't want to see you again.
But, miss,
I can't understand for the life of me why the sheriff didn't arrest that man. Can you, Parson?
No, I can't. I think that perhaps you're right. And now I think you can reach your home safely. Good night.
Good night, Parson. And thank you so much.
Parson Jim Wallace, eh?
I'm on the level, Blackie.
Yeah, tell that to your flock, Parson.
You can doubt my word, but you can't doubt the word of the Almighty. I came out of the darkness into the light. So can you if you let me help you.
You always had the gift of gab, Jim, but don't peddle it to me.
Why don't you let me help you, Blackie?
Oh, maybe one of these days I can use your help.
Meaning what?
Nah, not what you're thinking. Don't worry, Jim. I don't know your game, but you stick to it, and I'll stick to mine. All the help I was thinking you could ever do for me might be to marry me.
Or bury you. Sometime when you're not quick enough on the draw.
I sure will be careful about that. But how about a place for me and the kid to bunk around here? I mean, somewhere where it's safe, you know.
Who is that boy?
He's the best little partner I ever had. Right now, he can handle a six-shooter better than I could when I was a kid.
He ought to be learning to put on the armor of God instead of a gun belt. Good night, Blackie.
Good night, Jim.
you look worried, Jim. I know what you've been thinking about. You're thinking about that man. Well, it's no use. Nothing could reform him. He's not worth it anyway.
Suppose I were that man, Betty. Suppose I were in his place. Would you say that I wasn't worth it?
How could you ask me such a thing as that? Why, you with the blood on your hands that man has? Don't be absurd.
Yes, I suppose so. But do you think a man can be all bad who loves someone the way I mean that he loves that boy? I'd kill for him.
It just goes to show you never can tell about people, doesn't it, Mr. Evans? Why, when I was talking to him, I'd never have believed he was what he turned out to be.
Yes, I guess you never can tell what a man's going to turn out to be. Eh, Parson?
You're right, Sheriff.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't let it worry you, folks. I'm turning in now. Good night, Miss Betty.
Good night.
Good night, Parson.
Good night, Sheriff.
Wait a minute. I'll tell you what you do, Mrs. Senorita. Just put that can on your head and I'll knock it off. I'm getting pretty good, Blackie.
There's something that'll do you a lot more good than playing with a gun.
For instance, what?
I don't know. But you learn about it at Sunday school.
What? Sunday school?
Go on and get your face washed. And wash your ears while you're at it.
My hearing's good.
Then you heard what I told you.
Me go with all them sissies? I won't.
You're going. And I'm going with you to make sure you do.
But, Blackie, nobody'll have any more respect for you or me.
Go on. Do you want me to smack you? Go on now.
Wilmore, I think it's about time for us to be going home.
All right,
Goodbye, Mrs. Whipple, and Mrs. Willoughby, and Mrs. Jones. Goodbye.
Of course, it's none of my business. But if I had my way...
Sunday school wasn't so bad now, was it? Didn't you enjoy it?
Oh, of course he did, Mom. Didn't you, Sandy?
Oh, come on, let's get going.
Now behave yourself.
I'm awfully glad you brought him.
Then you wouldn't mind if I was to come in next time?
Why, no. Only don't you think you'd rather come to church?
Oh, just till Sandy gets used to it. You see, he might forget to come here if I wasn't right along with him to make sure of it.
You know, I think Jim was right. Reverend Wallace, I mean. He said that to care for that boy the way you do, that no one could be...
Oh, I guess I know what you mean. Nice of Reverend Wallace to say that about me. Do you reckon he's right?
I think perhaps he is.
Thanks, miss. I'd feel a heap better about it if I kind of felt it sort of mattered to, Sandy, I mean.
I'm sure it does.
Think you're tough, don't you, just because you can smoke a pipe?
That's more than you can do.
Do it if I want to.
Let's see you.
I don't want to.
'Cause you're dancing. You gotta be tough like Blackie and me to smoke pipes. Blackie, he's the toughest man in the world.
I bet you ain't.
Bet he is. He's got almost a dozen notches on his gun, so what do you think of that?
Let's see him. I don't believe it.
I guess you're calling me a liar.
Sure.
Take it back.
I won't.
You will.
I won't.
You called me a liar, didn't you?
Sure.
Come on here, lick him, Junior. Lick him. Come on, Junior.
Of course, the new minister, with all due respect to him, is not acquainted with the situation.
Come on, Junior.
Do you remember the time that...
Look at those kids.
Merciful Junior! Ma.
Come on, Junior.
Children!
Come on, here. Here, what do you mean?
Shame on you, and on the Sabbath, too. Look at your clothes.
Get up.
Don't blame Junior. What did you expect from such a young scamp as
Well, he
this?
called me a liar.
I didn't.
You did.
Shame on you.
Rise up.
Behave yourselves. Did your
Look,
mother
see.
tell you to stop your fighting?
Oh, why, this is terrible. Right here by the Sunday school.
To think a boy of mine. Look at your clothes.
You, young man. I'll attend to you when I get you home. Now skip away and get into that buggy. Go on.
Miss Betty, have that ruffian take him away.
Why, Miss Whipple, I think that's quite uncalled for.
But 6 days in a week to fight on. Couldn't you wait until tomorrow?
Well, I told him you was tough, Blackie, and you had almost a dozen notches on your gun. And he said you didn't, and I said you did. Nobody's gonna call me a liar unless they want to pick a fight.
You see? And that's the kind of hoodlum our children are supposed to associate with at Sunday school.
I ought to slap you for disgracing yourself.
Oh, I'm sure he won't do it again.
You needn't blame the child. How could one expect him to know better when he's under the influence of such a man?
At least Mr. Saunders did bring him to Sunday school for a better influence.
Oh, that ain't why. Don't I know he only brung me so he could have an excuse to see you?
Oh!
Reverend Wallace, may I speak with you just a moment, please? I've something important to say.
Oh, miss.
I'd rather you wouldn't speak to me.
I got to tell you, ma'am. I just had to see you some way. Because since that night I met you, I haven't been able to think of nothing else for wanting to see you again. And I figured this way I could sort of kill two birds with one stone.
Of course, Reverend Paul, whatever justice I don't get on my part.
I think Martha's perfectly right, Brother Wallace. Yes, well, I'll do the very best I can.
Thank you.
You'll excuse me, please.
Oh, certainly.
You can't blame me, can you, ma'am, for guessing that I must be in love with you? I guess that don't make you feel very proud, having a fellow like me say that he loves you. But that can't stop me from feeling the way I do about you, can it? Even if you didn't want me to.
Even if I could never care for you, would it make any difference to you that I don't mind that you feel that way?
Oh, miss,
I'm glad to see you here, Mr. Saunders.
I thought you'd be, Parson. I reckon I'll come more often.
Well, that's fine, Mr. Saunders.
Thank you. Well, good day.
Good day. I always knew there was something worth saving in him.
Do you really think you can help him, Jim?
I think perhaps you can.
Can't we both?
Why, yes. Yes, of course.
I think it's an outrage, Miss Whipple, to let a boy be brought up by such a man.
You're quite right, Miss Harper. But what's to be done about it? The child's got to be taken away from him, that's what. That's exactly what I told the parson before. If we're God-fearing mothers, it's up to us to see that he gets Christian upbringing.
And the parson's the one to do it. It's the Lord's will to rescue that child from the paths of sin.
You're quite right, Martha. And as a committee, we'll see to it that the child is taken away from him.
Now that that's settled, I must be going. Goodbye.
Let's
well,
go,
I might
Martha.
as well go on too.
Oh, Sandy! Come here! Sandy! Señora! Where's the kid?
Oh, yo no sé, se lo llevó, yo no sé.
What are you talking about? What happened?
Señor, the sheriff took him away, and he said you're no good father for the boy, and he says he gave it to the minister. And not my fault. It's not my fault.
You just wait till Blackie finds out about this. He'll fix you all right.
But if Blackie wants you to stay here, won't you believe then if we want to help you?
I'll tell it to your flock. Don't tell it to me. Leave me alone. I knew you'd come and get me, Blackie.
You can't have him, Blackie.
I can't, eh? Well, you're lucky to get out of this with your whole skin, Jim.
The law brought him here, not me. And only the law can take him away.
I'm this kid's law. You or your cloth ain't stopping me. I don't take orders from any guy. Even if he wears his collar backwards.
I said you can't have him.
Get away from that door. If I got to call your bluff, Jim, it's going to find you playing shepherd to a flock of angels. Get away from it.
You're going to listen to me. You can have him. Only when you're decent enough to have a right to it.
Well,
the Lord said, "Blessed is he whom thou chastenest."
stop preaching to me. Stop preaching to me. I said stop preaching to me. Stop. I said stop preaching.
Can't do it, Blackie. You can't do it. Send him out.
I know what you're going to say, so save your breath. What's that kid mean to you? You don't need him, but he's all I've got. I need him and he needs me, and I'm keeping him.
I know, Blackie. But he needs something more than you can give him. He needs a chance to grow up decent.
I can give it to him without any of your help.
Why, you couldn't even look at him if he grew up like I was and like you are.
Funny, ain't it? Me letting you get away with this. I guess you win, Jim.
No. You've won, Blackie. The hardest fight you'll ever have.
Sandy. Sandy! Come here.
Well, I guess they won't try separating pals like you and me again, will they, Blackie?
They won't have to. For a spell. You see, kid, I'm drifting. And you're going to stay here with the parson.
Oh, quit your kidding, Blackie. We aren't gonna split up after we've been pals like we have, are we? Well, I won't let you, see?
Now, don't give me any of your lip. You're going to do what the parson tells you. And behave yourself while I'm gone. He's a good guy, see? And I don't want you disgracing him. Quit your bawling like a sissy or I'll smack you.
But, Blackie, you're my partner. And partners stick together. Gee, I didn't know you was gonna leave me.
You do as I tell you. Be a good boy.
Blackie! Blackie! Blackie!
Oh, they told me you were here, Saunders. Looking for more trouble?
Wait a minute, James.
Saunders understands.
Well, it's a good thing for him that he does.
So long, Parson.
Where are you going, Blackie?
I'll let you know after I get there. So you can tell me once in a while about the kid.
Pulling up stakes, eh? I thought you'd be smart enough to get out of this town while you're still healthy.
You look worried, Betty. Is it thinking about...
Yes. I feel awfully sorry for him.
for Sandy?
Of course. Oh, I know 'twas best for him. But it does seem a shame there couldn't have been some other way. Especially if he knew how he's cared for.
For Sandy?
Of course. Oh, he's going to miss him such a lot.
Yes. I see now that he is. And I'm beginning to understand what it means to lose someone that you're greatly attached to. But don't you think that I might be able to take Blackie's place sometime? With Sandy, I mean.
Of course. But I don't think he could ever forget Blackie.
Could you? Or you needn't be afraid of hurting me. Can't you trust me?
I'm so terribly ashamed.
Of caring for him? I guess I'm a little ashamed of you, too. For feeling the way you do towards him. And letting him go away without telling him. Good night, Betty.
I think this is terrible. Well, my husband had nothing to do with it. Why, of course not. They couldn't hold him responsible for that.
We'll find out. This is
What happened? Now, hold your horses, quiet. How much was it, Harper?
$10,000. The entire payroll shipment for the Bullfrog mine. I was holding it for the stage that's coming through here tomorrow.
But you can't accuse my husband of this.
Now, nobody said it. Keep quiet.
It's all right, Martha.
Who knew it was here?
Why, I don't know. It wasn't no secret.
Blackie Saunders.
Where is Saunders?
I won't believe it. How do you know it was Blackie Saunders?
I know what I'm talking about. He's probably got a good start on us. I heard him tell the parson last night he was figuring on pulling up stakes, but I couldn't figure out why until now.
What time did you close up the store?
9 o'clock, same as usual.
Well, he couldn't have got out of the country then. We're going after him. Who's coming with me, boys? All right, get on the horses. Hurry up. Come on. Get on your horses. Come on.
What happened? The express office has been robbed. They've accused Blackie. Blackie? Yes, and they're going after him.
Come on, boys.
Hurry, Sandy! Hurry, Sandy! Hurry!
I am looking for Mr. Saunders.
Sí, ministro, in the house.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Jim. What's wrong? The kid?
No. He's all right.
What brings you out here?
To take you back with me. Back to someone who needs you more than Sandy. She loves you, Blackie.
You came all the way out here to tell me that? Why did you?
Because you need her, Blackie, as much as she needs you.
Did she tell you so?
No. But I guess she'll tell you when you ask her.
But how about you, Jim?
Say, how about some chow?
Sure. Senora! Say, but I won't guarantee your constitution after these flapjacks.
Chiqueria.
Breakfast for me and my pal.
Sí, señor.
Hurry up,
sí.
hurry up.
Now, boys, if he's in there, we want to take him without any shooting. So spread out around the place and we'll close in. Castro, Jim, you come with me.
All right.
Say, Jim, remember the time when you and I drifted into Honey Lake and you told the sheriff I was a horse doctor?
Oh, yeah. And the next morning we had to leave town early because the sheriff's horse got sick. And then we'll come on over there and see some more of the horses. And the next town we left, I remember that we got into that.
Reach for the air. No, you don't.
What does this mean, Evans?
It means the express office is 10,000 poorer this morning.
Surely you're not trying to connect Blackie with that. Why, I can vouch for him. He was here all night, ever since he left town.
Sí, señor, that's true.
That's enough out of you. What makes you so sure he didn't do it, Parson?
Why, because he was going back to town with me.
Are you sure you were going back?
What do you mean?
I mean that you never can tell what a man's going to turn out to be when his name was Larkin and he was a pal of Blackie Saunders.
But surely you don't think that I...
You've gone as wrong as you've got me, Evans.
Put the cuffs on him.
Let's have him. Bad man, eh? Well, for an all-round bad hombre, you look kind of white under the gills to me now.
Wait, Mr. Sheriff. You can't arrest Blackie. He didn't do it.
That's enough out of you. Shut up.
Go on, kid, and talk.
There was two of them, because I saw them. You didn't know I was out, Mr. Wallace. But when I was sneaking home, I saw two of them come out of the express office. I didn't think anything about it till I heard of the robbery.
Two of them, eh? So that's why you're here with him, Parson.
You're telling a lie. The fellas I saw...
Oh, shut up, you dirty little whelp.
Stop it back here or I'll drop you. Go on, kid. Who did you see?
He was one of them.
Sure what you're saying, son.
I didn't say he was the robber. All I said was that I saw him come out of there right after there was a robbery. That's all.
Oh, the kid's lying.
Tell him who was with him, Sandy. And be sure you're telling the truth.
He was.
Why, you're crazy, you little fool. I took you for a rat the first time I saw you. What did you do with the stuff?
And where were you last night?
You know where I were. You were with me.
Why, you're loco. I was home in bed by 11 o'clock.
Oh, no, you wasn't. You woke me up when you came in at 2 o'clock this morning.
What do you got to say about that, Gaines?
I told you so, Sheriff.
It's all your fault. You framed this thing, and you're not going to frame me to save your own neck.
Now, Gaines, I guess you're not.
Are you going to believe evidence like that, Sheriff?
You'll do your talking later, Gaines. Take him away, boys.
Get out of here. Go on.
Well, I'm sorry, Saunders, that I made this mistake.
Sorry you didn't have a chance to take me, eh, Evans? Yeah, I guess it's too bad. 'Cause I got a hunch maybe you'll never have another chance. How about it, Jim?
You know, Parson, I don't know how to say it, but I feel like cutting my tongue right out.
That's all right, John. I'm only sorry you ever found out. I guess you haven't got the same opinion of me.
I guess not. Because I never thought so much of you as I do right now.
That ye may so live together in this life, that in the world to come ye may find life everlasting.
May I speak with you a minute, Mr. Reverend Wallace?
Why, certainly, Sandy. What is it, Sandy?
Seeing as I got religion, I've got a confession to make.
Confession?
You know what I said about seeing those two fellas come out of the express office?
Yes.
Well, I made that all up. I was in bed all the time.
Sandy.
Do you think the Lord will forgive me for a lie like that?
I think perhaps he will.
You're sure a good guy.